Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We take you back to November 28th, 1963, on Thursday afternoon, Thanksgiving Day, in the city of Shamokin, Pennsylvania, to Kemp Memorial Stadium for the 2 o'clock kickoff between the Greyhounds of Shamokin High School, Shamokin Area High School, and the Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel Joint High School. And now the starting lineup for the visiting Red Tornadoes of Mount Carmel Joint High School. At left end, number 51, Ron Wasilewski. Left tackle, number 62, Jim Wasikowski. At left guard, number 72, Oscar Quiderovich. Center, number 81, John Kovac. Right guard, number 52, Vic Brighty. Right tackle, 61, Mike Chappell. Right end, number 53, Alfie Santos. Quarterback, number 24, Tom Beyer-Schmidt. Left halfback, number 26, Joey Greco. Right halfback, number 23, Charlie Dalpiaz. And at fullback, number 21, Bob Menapace. And the remainder of the Red Tornado 1963 squad. Head coach of the Red Tornadoes, Joseph Jazz Dimmick. Assistant coaches, George Rona, Charles Carlo, Francis Menapace. Athletic director, Glenn Mangus. Senior high school principal, Vince McHale. And now the starting lineup offensively for the Shamokin Area High School Greyhounds. At left halfback, number 10, T. Edwards. Quarterback, number 11, R. Lichtel. At fullback, number 12, R. Krieger. At right halfback, number 20, R. Kavanaugh. The other possible halfback, number 22, Dennis May. At right halfback, number 32, Mike Pufna. At right guard, number 41, Jay Lamb. At center, number 52, I. Adams. At left guard, number 62, B. Verano. At left tackle, number 70, R. Copenhaver. At right tackle, number 71, T. Smeltzer. Other left tackle, number 77, Bill Harold. At right end, number 81, R. Christ. The officials for tonight's game: referee John Sobek, umpire Andy Wisniewski, head linesman Ed Kresnak, and the field judge is Al Zale. Here you see the captains meeting at the center of the field for Mount Carmel: Beyer-Schmidt, Greco, and Menapace. For Shamokin, Culp, Harold, and an unidentified. Number 77, Bill Harrow, kicks off to number 24, Tom Beyer-Schmidt, who gets the ball on the 9 and returns 13 yards to the 22. Mount Carmel first and 10 at the 22. Menapace picks up 1 over the right side to the 23. Brings up a second and 9 at the 23. Beyer-Schmidt picks up 1 to the 22. And then on third and 8 at the 22, Beyer-Schmidt breaks loose for 26 yards to the 50-yard line. Number 32, Pufnuk, makes the saving tackle. Mount Carmel first and 10 at the 50. Quarterback Paczynski back to pass is sacked by number 82, Cone. And 44, Dick Ambrose, recovers for Shamokin on the fumble. Shamokin first and 10 at the Mount Carmel 41. Dennis gets 1. Mike Chapman on the tackle. Second and 9 at the 40. Dick picks up 3 at the 51. Ron Wasilewski on the tackle. Third and 6. Quarterback Tom Edwards' pass is overthrown. Fourth and 6. Number 70, Bob Copenhaver's punt goes out of bounds at the 10. And that brings up a first and 10 at the 10. Number 26, Joey Greco, gets 1 to the 11. On second and 9 at the 11, Beyer-Schmidt is held for no gain. Brings up a third and 9 at the 11. Number 23, Charlie Dalpiaz on a reverse, picks up 5. But Shamokin's offside, and therefore the Red Tornadoes take the play. Third and 4 at the 16, Beyer-Schmidt on a keeper gets 9, but a 15-yard penalty against the Red Tornadoes for clipping puts the ball back on the 9. This brings up a third and 11 from the 9-yard line. And Wasilewski's punt covers 53 yards over the heads of the receivers to the Shamokin 38, down by Dalpiaz. Shamokin first and 10 at the 38. Number 32, Mike Pufnot, gets 5, tackled by number 62, Jim Wasikowski. And we have a 15-yard personal foul against the Red Tornadoes, and that puts the ball on Mount Carmel's 45. First and 10, Shamokin. Pufnot picks up 12 on a left slant to the 33, tackled by Chappell. First and 10 at the 33. Pufnot gets 2 to the 31. Bayerschmidt making the initial tackle. Second and 8 at the 31. Dick picks up 5 to the 26 with Dalpiaz on the stop. Third and 3 at the 26. Dick is held for no gain. Chappell on the tackle. And then on 4th and 3 at the 26, number 12, Dick Krieger, goes over the left side for 10 down to the 16. First and 10 at the 16. Krieger gets 1 to the 15. Brings up a second and 9 at the 15. Pufnot gets the ball, and he's stopped by number 74, Richard Wanzi. No gain. Mount Carmel, though, is penalized half the distance to the goal for another personal foul. Brings up first and 8. First and goal at the 8. Dick fumbles, and Chappell recovers at the 10-yard line. Red Tornadoes take over first and 10 at the 10. Bayerschmidt picks up 5 to the 15. On second and 5 at the 15, Menapace picks up 2 to the 17. Brings up a third and 3 at the 17. Greco goes over the right side, gets 1. But this time a personal foul on Shamokin. And that's going to put the ball on the 34 and a first down. First and 10 at the 34, Bayerschmidt gets 2 to the 36. Second and 8 at the 36, Bayerschmidt is held for no gain. Third and 8 at the 36, Baczynski's pass to Bayerschmidt is overthrown. Brings up a 4th and 8 at the 36. Wasilewski's punt is taken by Dick at the 30, and he returns it to the 35. Shamokin, first and 10 at the 35. Pufnot picks up 2. Bayerschmidt on the initial hit at the 37. Second and 8 at the 37. Edwards back to pass. Pass is incomplete. Brings up a third and 8 at the 37. Quarterback Edwards' pass this time is tipped by number 75, Victor Bridie, and falls incomplete. Fourth and 8 at the 37. Copenhagen on a low snap drops the ball, and the Red Tornadoes take over. First and 10 at the 27. Greco over the right side for 3 yards as the first quarter comes to an end. Second and 25 at the 25, Menapace is stopped by Dick for no gain. And then on 3rd and 7 at the 25, Greco picks up 6 out to the 19. Brings up a 4th and 1 at the 19. The Red Tornadoes pick up 4 yards to the 15. First and 10 at the 15, Greco carries to the 5 for a first down. First and goal at the 5. Menapace picks up 2 yards. Second and goal at the 2. Bayerschmidt gets the carry and is held for no gain. On 3rd and goal at the 2, Bayerschmidt loses 2, back to the 4-yard line. 4th and goal from the 4. Greco on a pitch out loses 4 more. And Shamokin takes over. First and 10 at their own 8. Pufnot up the middle for 5 to the 13. Second and 5 at the 13. Dick is hit by Wasilewski, and Menapace fumbles, and it's recovered by Krieger of Shamokin at the 15. Brings up a 3rd and 3 at the 15. Krieger hit by number 71, Carlo, fumbles. This time recovered by number 53, Alfie Santos of the Red Tornadoes. First and 10 at the 19. Baczynski's jump pass to Santos, complete for 8 yards to the 11. Second and 2 at the 11. Bayerschmidt over the left side for 4 and a first down. First and goal at the 7. Baczynski fumbles, and it's recovered by the Greyhounds Herald at the 13. Shamokin first and 10 at the 13. Edwards on a quarterback sneak to the 15. Second and 8 at the 15. Dick gets 5 to the 20. That brings up a 3rd and 3 at the 20. Right halfback Pufnot loses 2 back to the 18. 4th and 5 at the 18. Copenhagen's punt is blocked by number 18, Al Zielinski, and recovered by Wasilewski at the 5-yard line. Mount Carmel 1st and goal at the 5. Greco picks up 1 yard off the right side. 2nd and goal at the 4. Bayerschmidt sweeps the left side out of bounds inches from the goal line. 3rd and goal inside the 1. Bayerschmidt at quarterback. Sneaks over for the touchdown into the end zone. The point after touchdown attempt is tried by number 80, Brzezinski, and he splits the uprights. Scoreboard shows with 3:05 remaining in the half, Mount Carmel 7, Shamokin nothing. Zielinski's kickoff rolls to the Greyhounds' 37-yard line where it is covered. Shamokin, 1st and 10 at their 37. Dick picks up 2. He's tackled by Bob Benepace. On 2nd and 8 from the 39, number 20, Bob Kavanaugh, gets a carry. He's got 2 yards, and once again, Bob Benepace makes a tackle. At 3rd and 6 at the 41, Edwards is hurried by Chappell and Wasikowski and has his pass intercepted by Wasilewski, who goes 29 yards into the end zone for a Red Tornado touchdown. The point after by Zielinski is good. With 1:51 left in the second quarter, it's Mount Carmel 14, Shamokin 0. There you see the snake dance by the cheerleaders and majorettes. Zielinski's onside kickoff is covered by Kavanaugh at the 37. Shamokin now has a 1st and 10 from their 37. Edwards' pass is intercepted by Greco, but the officials call pass interference against the Red Tornadoes. That brings up a 1st and 10 at the Mount Carmel 47. And there you see the penalty being marked off. Pass interference. 1st down. Hoofknock gets the carry and loses 2, tackled by Alfie Santos. On 2nd and 12 at the 49, Edwards' pass is overthrown. Brings up a 3rd and 12 at the 49. Edwards' pass this time is broken up by Greco. 4th and 12 at the 49. Copenhagen's punt is taken by Bayerschmidt at the 23, handed off to Greco, who comes back to the 34. Brings up a 1st and 10 at the 34. We decline a penalty on the play. And Buczynski, back to pass, completes to Santos for 11 yards out to the 45. 1st and 10 at the 45. Buczynski's pass to Santos is caught again, but he's ruled out of bounds by the officials. Brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 45. Buczynski's long pass to Santos goes right off his fingertips. And on a 3rd and 10 at the 45, this time Buczynski goes to Bob Benepace and completes a 55-yard touchdown strike to Bob Benepace. The PAT was good by Brzezinski with 2 seconds left, 21-0 Mount Carmel. And here you see the Mount Carmel High School Band in the halftime show. The drum major is Louis Bailoni. The scoreboard shows the start of the 3rd quarter, 12 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And the captains are again out in the middle of the field. Zielinski's kickoff is taken by Dick at the 10-yard line, and he returns to the 36, with Zielinski making the tackle. Shamokin 1st and 10 at the 36. Dick picks up 2 to the 38. On 2nd and 8 at the 38, Hoofknock gets 2 more to the 40. Then on 3rd and 6 at the 40, Edwards, back to pass, is sacked by Zielinski for an 11-yard loss. 4th and 16 at the 29, Copenhagen punts to Bayerschmidt, who gathers it in at the 45 and returns to the 50. Mount Carmel 1st and 10 at the 50. Bob Benepace gets the carry and picks up 11 yards to the 39. We move now to further action. Buczynski's pass to Greco is batted down by Kavanaugh. At the 30, Bayerschmidt on a reverse gets a first down at the 23. Pufnock on the tackle. First and 10 at the 23. Buczynski's pass is completed to Bayerschmidt for a 13-yard pickup before he's taken out of bounds at the 10. First and 10 at the 10. Buczynski's pass is completed to Greco in the end zone. Touchdown, Red Tornadoes. The extra point attempt this time goes wide right. And the scoreboard with 8:23 left in the third quarter shows Mount Carmel 27, Shamokin nothing. Zielinski's kickoff is taken by Dick at the 20, and he returns to the 35. Number 27, Yannick on the tackle. First and 10 at the 35. Pufnock picks up 5 to the 40, with Zielinski making the tackle. Second and 5 at the 40. Dick gets 2 more to the 42 with Chappell on the tackle. Third and 3 at the 42. Edwards back to pass is sacked by Zielinski again for an 11-yard loss. Fourth and 14 at the 31. Copenhagen's punt is taken by Bayerschmidt, who hands off to Greco, who returns to the 49 before he's taken out of bounds. First and 10 at the 49. Bayerschmidt fumbles, and number 71, Tom Smeltzer, recovers for the Greyhounds at the Shamokin 46. First and 10 for Shamokin at their own 46. There's a fumble on the play, but it's recovered by Shamokin at the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 at the 46. We have another fumble, again recovered by the Greyhounds at the 45. Third and 11 at the 45. Edwards' jump pass is knocked down by number 75, Vic Bridie. Fourth and 11 at the 45. Copenhagen's punt goes to Bayerschmidt, who returns from his 30 to the 34. On first and 10 at the 34, Bayerschmidt goes up the middle for 3. Second and 7 at the 37, Bayerschmidt's pass to Greco is stripped by Kavanaugh. That brings up a third and 7 at the 37. This time, Buczynski's back to pass, and that's intercepted by Pufnock at the 49. Shamokin first and 10 at the Mount Carmel 49. Dick gets the carry, and he's stopped for no gain by Wasilewski. Second and 10 at the 49. Number 11, quarterback Dick Lichtel's pass falls incomplete. Third and 10 at the 49. Lichtel's screen pass to Pufnock, but there's no gain. Bridie making the stop. Fourth and 10. Copenhagen back to punt. It's taken by Bayerschmidt, handed off to Greco, who returns from the 20 to the 42 for a 22-yard return. First and 10 at their own 42. Menapace picks up 1. Harold making the stop. Second and 9 at the 43. Buczynski's pass. This time it's intercepted by number 21, Jeff Golden, who returns to the Shamokin 42. Shamokin, first and 10 at their own 42. Dick gets 1 to the 43, and that is the end of the third quarter before this play gets off. We now move to further action. Mount Carmel gets the ball at the 18 in the fourth quarter. First and 10 at the 18. Bayerschmidt on a keeper gets to the 29 for a pickup of 11. First and 10 at the 29. Menapace gets 7 up to the 35. On second and 3 at the 35 with 9:35 remaining in the game, Greco carries to the 50. He's tackled by number 21, Golden. There's a penalty against Shamokin, but the Red Tornadoes decline the penalty. There you see the signal. On first and 10 at the 50, Greco loses 6. Back to the 44 as number 52, Adams, makes the tackle. Second and 16 at the Mount Carmel 44. Bayerschmidt's pass is intercepted by Golden at the 48, returned to the 30. John Kovac on the tackle at the 22. Shamokin, first and 10 at the 22. Dick on the carry, picks up 2 yards up to the 20. That brings up a second and 8 from the 20. Kavanaugh, the ball carrier, gets 1 to the 19. Then on 3rd and 7 from the 19, quarterback Lichtel's pass to Cone falls incomplete. 4th and 7 at the 19. Lichtel back to pass again is sacked again by Zielinski for a 10-yard loss. Therefore, Mount Carmel takes over 1st and 10 at their own 30. Bayerschmidt gets the call on a keeper and gets 4 to the 34. 2nd and 6 at the 34. Menapace results in no gain. Brings up a 3rd and 6 at the 34. And Bayerschmidt on a keeper. Again, Shamokin defense stiffens and no gain. 4th and 6 at the 34. Wasilewski back to punt. His punt goes 46 yards all the way down to the Shamokin 20, and there's no return. Shamokin 1st and 10 at the 20. Dick goes over to find out what the play is, and he's told he's getting the ball. There he goes, 4 yards. And with 4:02 left in the game. Brings up a 2nd and 6 at the 24. Lichtel, quarterback, back to pass, but it's deflected by Wasilewski at the line and sails over the heads. 3rd and 16 at the 24. Lichtel's pass, and they call interference against the Red Tornadoes. So Shamokin will get the ball 1st and 10, marked up to the 39. Kavanaugh is dropped by Bayerschmidt for a 5-yard loss. Then on 2nd and 15 at the 34, Lichtel's pass is completed to Cone, but in the backfield for a 3-yard loss. Brings up a 3rd and 18 at the 31. Again, Lichtel back to pass, and this one is short. Trapped it. Brings up a 4th and 18 at the 31. Copenhaver's punt. And we have Greco signaling for a fair catch at the Mount Carmel 42. Mount Carmel 1st and 10 at the 42 with 2 minutes 21 seconds left in the game. And Buczynski goes back to pass. He hits Santos with the pass, who juggles it and then drops it. Brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 42. Again, Buczynski goes back to pass. It's Bayerschmidt on a flank and good for 26 yards till forced out of bounds by number 30, Toma, at the Shamokin 32. Bayerschmidt got a leg injury on that play. Menapace this time goes up the middle and gets 13 yards to the 19, and now Buczynski jump pass is completed to Wasilewski, good for 12 yards, down to the 7. 1st and goal at the 7. And Dalpiaz has the ball stripped at the 3. Number 62, Verano, recovers for Shamokin. Shamokin takes over 1st and 10 at the 4 with 29 seconds remaining. Dick picks up 1 yard to the 5. And before they can get another play off, the referee steps in, grabs the ball, and that is the end of the ball game. And the final score this Thanksgiving afternoon was the Mount Carmel Joint High School Red Tornadoes 27, the Shamokin High School Greyhounds 0. The following individuals volunteered their time and expertise in order to preserve the proud tradition of Mount Carmel Red Tornadoes football history.